Good morning, good morning. Okay, Malachim Aleph, Perek Ches. Today is November, what, Avi?
Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Vayera.
Okay. So let's get a little background and we'll get started. So, we're in the story of Achav, and again, how Malachim Yisrael was the times of Achav, and it was times of a lot of Obadiah. And the story we had yesterday was a story where Eliyahu came, and he essentially took the rain, the key of rain, and stopped the rain. That's what happened. Now, what happened? According to there's different ways to learn it, but according to most of us, cries did a little bit of tshuva, let's just say, and Hashem really wanted to bring the rain back and to end the hunger. So now he be Yamin Rabbim was already a while. With Hashem Eliyahu b'shana shlish shleima. Hashem came to Eliyahu on the third year, and he said, Lech Achav, go to Achav, at the matar al pei adama. And what? I'll bring the rain to the land. Now, like we spoke yesterday, that originally Eliyahu had the keys to rain, and Hashem had the other two keys Ches Mason, right? And also the Puruvu. But now that Eliyahu gave the key to rain back to Hashem, because he wanted the key to Ches Mason, so now kind of Hashem has the key to the rain. So now we just started Rebelli. Okay. So now Hashem, it's ready the third year. And Hashem came to Achav, he said, go tell Achav that I'm going to bring rain. Okay, and let him know. Why do you want to let him know? You want to let him know that the rain's coming because of me. It isn't just rain. I stopped the rain. I'm starting the rain. Okay, pasuk base. Eliyahu says Achav, and Eliyahu went to, he was on the way. He's going to Achav. And the Shamron, the road was very, very, very intense. What's the pshat? Why is Paul telling you it was very intense in the Shamron? So two pshats. Either the pshat is Shamron is where the Melch was. So either the pshat is that the Shamron, where the Melch usually is it's more lighter where the king is. Over there it was rough. Over there it was extremely bad. So imagine where everywhere else is even worse. Or the other pshat is the opposite. Only the Shamron was bad, really bad. Why? Because the Shamron, that's where the kings were, and they were being punished. That's the truth. Anyways, that's why it stresses Harav Chazak b'Shamron. Pasuk Gimel. So now Achav goes to Obadiah. Obadiah was a righteous Obadiah. Ever heard the Navi Obadiah? That's what we're talking about. In Trey also we have Navi Obadiah. So now this person, he was the servant at Achav's house, and Vayikra Achav Obadiah Asher Abayis Obadiah Haya Yirei Es Shamoid. And Obadiah was a big tzaddik. He was a Yerush. Why is Paul telling me to do that? Because Achav had a taina. He says, I don't understand. Normally, let's say in the house of Batifar, so Yosef was there, so we saw there was a lot of good things happening in the house of Batifar. Yaakov loved, and also a lot of good things. Why is it true that he figured, if he's in my house, I should see good. I shouldn't have Rav. So that was the taina. So the pasuk saying, no, he was a good person. And so why Taka was it true that he didn't have good mazel? Because the answer is because they had good children, they had other schuyas. But stop a person in the house is a Russia is not going to bring, just because I'm there, it's not going to bring good luck. Anyway, pasuk down. Now, remember Achav was married to this lady Izebel, and she was really bad. In fact, she wasn't even a yid, she was a guy. And she went ahead and she killed all the Nevi'im. She went around killing Nevi'im. So what did Obadiah do? He took 100 Nevi'im, Chamishim Ish B'Mara, Chilim Lechem Mayim. So Izebel, the wife of Achav, went ahead and was killing Nevi'im. So what happened was Obadiah went and he hid 100 Nevi'im, 50 in one cave, 50 in another cave. Why did he do that for? So the Gemara says two times. The Gemara says either pshat was learned from Yaakov Avinu that you put in two separate areas in case Izebel comes to one, the other will go to flate. That's his pasha. 1 second. Or the pshat is simple pshat. There's a small cave, so we have to put 50 in each cave. Practical. We say in English it's called Baal Batish, the real pshat. Okay. Why did they kill her? Because she was the wife of Achav, so she had special protection. You can't just kill. No, she is the one in charge. Her husband is Achav. Yeah, why not to kill them all? Okay, that's okay. So Achav tells us, "Yo, lech ba'aretz." So now it was during the war. It was during the hunger, and it was very, very strong, and there was no food. So Achav, who was the Melech, he told Obadiah, who was his servant, he says, "Lech ba'aretz, let's go as kol ma'ayim. Let's go through the land. Let's look for water because it's a drought. Let's try to find water. Let's call on Achal and let's go to all the brooks. Maybe we'll find some grass. In order that the horses or the mules will stay alive, they need some food for the animals. And in order the Amos shouldn't be killed. Now, why did he himself go? And why did he take this trusted servant? Because he figured anyone else goes, they can go eat up the food themselves. So the king went himself. And he went with Obadiah, who he trusted, to go look. All right, here's the story. Here's where it starts. So what happened? They split into two. And they each went themselves looking for maybe some grain, maybe some grass or something to feed the animals. Fine. Now, Pasuk Zion. Obadiah was on his way. Suddenly, all of a sudden, Eliyahu comes towards him. And he recognized Obadiah. Obadiah recognized him. But he says, "Are you Eliyahu Navi? Is that you?" Okay. He says, "Yes, I am Eliyahu. It's me." He says, "Go tell your master. Go tell Achav." He tells me, "Go tell Achav that Eliyahu, I found Eliyahu. No, I'm Eliyahu. I'm here." Now, just to understand what happened is, the next few psukim, I'll say it outside first. So, what happens is like this. Eliyahu was he was a regular guy, okay, and Achav was looking for Eliyahu the whole time because Achav wanted Eliyahu to
persuade him to
persuade that the rain should start again. So he went to all the kings and he went around trying to find Eliyahu. Could not find Eliyahu. He looked everywhere. So he now if you go ahead and he would say that he found Eliyahu and he tell it to Achav would kill him maybe because he made it because he was looking for years for Eliyahu, he couldn't find him. Okay, so he would be afraid to tell Achav that he found Eliyahu. That's the point. He'd be afraid to tell Achav he found Eliyahu. Let's just see the side. Positive test. He says. So now Obadiah says, "What did I do wrong? That you go to ask me." You Eliyahu asking me beyond Achav Lamisani. You asking Achav to go out and kill me. What did I do wrong? I don't want to tell Achav. He'll kill me if he finds out that I found Eliyahu. He says, "Chai Hashem Yeshua Shak Chai Shalakacha." If there's a nation in the kingdom, that my master Achav didn't go send Levakeh to look for you, Amarayan, and they all said he's not there. So Vashpiyas Amlucha Esagoy Ki Lo Yimsen. In other words, he made it. I'm just trying to clear. Achav made every kingdom, every nation make a shvur that they couldn't find Eliyahu Navi. So if me, Obadiah, says all of a sudden I found Eliyahu Navi, I'm in trouble. So I'd rather not do that. Okay. And now you're telling me I should go say I found him? Certainly I shouldn't do that. And it said even worse. Maybe close the window shade. It's very disturbing. Okay. Pasuk Yabes. V'hinei ani elech itcha. He says like this. He says, and let's say I go ahead and I tell Eliyahu Navi. Let's say I say that I tell Achav. Let's say
I found Eliyahu.
Yeah. Let's say I say, you know what? I found Eliyahu Navi. So then I'm going to say he's here, and suddenly you're Eliyahu Navi. I'm going to run away and disappear. So I wouldn't even do that. That's what he says back. Let's say when I leave you, and I say fine. He says Ruach Hashem Yisecha. He says that a Ruach Hashem is going to take you Eliyahu Navi and carry you away. To a place that I don't know where it is. And I go to Achav, and then you're not going to be there. So in other words, Obadiah is saying, why in the world would I go and tell Achav that Eliyahu Navi I found him? Even though I found you here, the second I tell him, you're going to run away somewhere else. So it's not worth it for me. Okay, that's the kind of summary. And me, I'm a good person. Now, I'm a good person. Well, why did I go do that to myself? Now, haloi, and he says even more, haloi huga ladoni, and didn't you hear that Asa sha'as sisi? And he's trying to say I'm a good guy. What did I do? I hid the Nevi'im. He says, when Zev went to kill the Nevi'im, I went ahead, I hit 100 people, 50 in each cave. Now I even fed them during the Rav. So I fed them, I risked my life. Not only did I go against the queen, I also went ahead and took precious food to feed these Nevi'im. Now you say I should go ahead and I should do that. It's not worth it. So why is he saying this? So the Abarnel says, he says Pashup Shah. He says that this is the Al-Shich the Abarnel. One shot is if I go ahead and I get killed, so then the Nevi'im are going to get killed also, because then who's going to take care of them? So that's one shot. Okay, we'll go with that shot. Fine. Pasuk Yudal. Right? Okay. Pasuk has what? Eliyahu Chai Hashem Tzavakos. Eliyahu said he made a shua. Shemarti lefanov ki hayom eralev. He says what? Eliyahu says he makes a shua. He says I make a shua that I'm not going to disappear. I will stand. So again, clear. Eliyahu Avadia tells Eliyahu tells Obadiah, he tells him that tell Achav I'm here, and I'm not going to disappear. I will stay where I am, and it's all good. And Obadiah goes to call Achav, and he told him where he was. So now, finally, they meet each other. Eliyahu meets Achav. He says, Achav tells Eliyahu, you the person who the troublemaker, you stopped the rain, you're the one. So first we see from this way he's talking with extreme chutzpah, you see that Achav didn't do any tshuva. So that's clear. But it seems like from Hashem say that other people did some tshuva. There was enough tshuva and cries so that they were zeichet to get the rain. Certainly not Achav, because you see how he's talking to Eliyahu, a Navi. Fine. So Eliyahu responds, he says, Loya karti as Yisrael, I am not a troublemaker, Eliyahu says. You and your father's house, Hashem, you went against Hashem, you went after the Baal. That's why you caused your own trouble. And now he's saying, As Kol Yisrael, Har HaKarmel, he says, you know what? We got to do like this. We're going to do the following. We're going to go to Har HaKarmel, and we're going to see who's real. And that's from now to the end of the Perek. You have a fascinating very story of Har HaKarmel. Okay. Go back. He says now you should gather Kol Yisrael Har HaKarmel. You gather the whole Yisrael Har HaKarmel. That's the VA Baal. And you get to the VA Baal. Also going to go 450. And also the VA Sheira Arba and 400 people of the VA Sheira. But then these people were people Oicha Shulchan Zevel. Again, so Eliyahu now is going to make a test. He's going to go to Har HaKarmel, and he's going to call Yisrael. And he's going to be all the people you saw him to watch, and he's going to bring the Via Baal, and he asked for the Via Asher to come as well. We'll see that they didn't come. So that's 450 and 400. He asked them to come. And Eliyahu is going to stand by himself. And they're going to do is they're going to make two kabbans. They're going to make two mizbechas, and each mizbech they're going to put a par. And then Eliyahu is going to say, whichever one the fire comes down of Hashem, that's going to be the real Hashem. And you'll see. And that's the famous test. And you hear the story of Har HaKarmel. It's this test right now. Okay, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
What's going to happen?
We're going to see whichever one the fire comes down from Hashem. If the fire comes down to VI Baal, we're all going to go to VI Baal. And if it comes to Hashem, we're all going to follow Hashem. And we're going to see if they realize in that time, Zara was so vivid, the people didn't even know what was real anymore. And we'll see in a minute in the pasuk, they weren't even sure themselves. And that's why they even agreed to the test. Okay. Now, pasuk Chav. So he sent a big message. Achav himself sent the message. And they all got Har HaKarmel. So now Eliyahu went to all the people and he said, until when are you going to jump around? Stay hasifim to be two different kinds. In other words, between two doorsteps. In other words, you run between Hashem and the Baal. You keep going back and forth. He says, if Hashem is real, follow Hashem. If the Baal is real, follow the Baal. Don't do both. Now the people didn't even know what the right answer was. They didn't know. Rashi says, they didn't know how to distinguish which was real.
It was so far removed.
Exactly, so far removed, and they actually wanted the test. We'll see we'll see in a second. They said sure. He told them about the test. They're like Taiva Dover. We love it because we want to know. I'm going to go myself on one side, the Via Baal, 450 people on the other side, and what we can do is we're going to take two oxen, you'll pick one for yourself, Not and going to cut up, going to put wood, but don't put down any fire. So you put the power on the wood and don't put any fire. Also, I'm not going to put fire. And just to point out, if you notice, it says, like I said before, it says this only the via Baal came. And what's the pshat? The pshat was that Zevel, the wife, she knew that something's going to happen over here, so she knew she's a faker, so she didn't want to bring her people. So that's why the pasuk says in the test, it says in Eliyahu, and Eliyahu is to be against in the via Baal and the via Shera of Zevel's house. But Zevel didn't want to bring her some people, so it turns out that the test was just between Eliyahu and the via Baal. Okay, anyways, so. And they're going to call out the name of Hashem. And I'm going to call out the name of Hashem. Each going to call out in the name of our gods. Whichever God is going to go ahead and bring the fire to the carbon, he's to be he's to be the real one. And what happened? And all the people answered. They said, we love the idea. So this will actually help us out. We want to know what's the real way. Great, we love it. Let's do it. So Eliyahu tells the via Baal, you should go first. And you could prepare first. You are the majority. And we know in general we always go after the rabbim. I'm not sure that's the reason. But anyway, so you should pick first and because cover the rabbim. Now, and you should call it in the name of your God. But don't put the fire. Let's see if it brings the fire by itself. They took the ox that he gave them. And they prepared it. They call out in the name of Baal. But let's take a pause. So the question is, it says, and then he gave them the ox. Why did he give it to them? I thought they picked it. So Rashi says a famous shot. What happened was that the ox said no. He says, I don't want to go for the Baal. So he went to Eliyahu Navi. He said, no, I'm not going for the Baal. I don't want to do that.
Wow.
So then Eliyahu told him and said, no. He said, both of you are here to be Hashem Shemayim, and therefore you should go. And then he gave the power back to the Baal. So this is an interesting shot that we see how Behemoth knows what's going on. And he said, no, I don't want to go. Okay. So they took the power, they gave him Yasu and prepared it. This is the famous story now. They call out the name of the Baal from the morning to the evening. They said, Baal, answer us. No one responded, no one answered. They jumped on the bed. Come on, maybe it needs to be shooken up, make it work. And they're banging his back, they're hitting his back, and nothing's happening. The Hebrew was ready in the afternoon. He made a joke. He ridiculed. He said, maybe you gotta talk louder. It doesn't hear you. Eliyahu, it's your God. Maybe he's busy. He's in a conversation. I don't know. He's maybe he's in a meeting. Or he's pursuing something. Maybe he's traveling. Means Rashi means he's going to the bathroom. Maybe he's in the bathroom. He's not available right now. We learn from here, by the way, it's a mitzvah to make fun of Obadiah. And it's a mitzvah. That's why you never, in the whole Tanakh, you never see a joke like this. Maybe Obadiah in the bathroom. But Obadiah, you're allowed to go say that. Maybe he's sleeping, I'll wake him up. So Yoda's like, come on, scream louder. Maybe the fire will come. What happened? Yekub called God, and he did it really loud. But the God mishpatam, and they also they stabbed each other. They cut each other with knives. It was part of the way, I think Rashi says, it was part of the way they used to do the Seder Zara.
They cut themselves.
Right, they stabbed themselves. They took knives and they stabbed themselves with swords and spears until they actually spilled blood.
Why do people cut their hands?
It was the pasuk says kimish patim, like the derech was of the Avodah Zarah. So they jump up and down and then they're screaming and they're banging. Nothing's happening. They're cutting. Nothing's happening. And once the afternoon passed, and they continued doing this whole thing until it came time. Nothing answered. Nothing. It was gone. Nothing happening. And no one was listening. Just banging on a piece of wood. Nothing's happening. Eliyahu says, "Okay, so you guys failed." There's a famous. Okay, so when I was a little kid, I heard a medrash. I couldn't find it, but apparently there's a medrash somewhere that says that the sun went under his bech, and he wanted to light a fire. So he went under and he tried to light it up, and a snake came and bit him and it killed him. I couldn't find it anywhere, but my Rabbi Dravel used to say it over.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it. Okay. Tomorrow I'd love to find it, but when I prepared it, I didn't find it, but at least I remember the story. Okay, Pasuk Lamed. So now Eliyahu says, okay, now it's my turn. Sure, like come close to me. So why I say come close to me? So the Mepharshim say, I want you to see. Don't think I did a magic trick here. Come close. Watch with your own eyes. Come close.
Watch closely.
Exactly. And all people came nearby. And he repaired the Bech Hashem, a horse that was broken. What does that mean? Repaired the Bech Hashem. If you shot them, I like the Barbanel shot, the Malachim shot. The Malachim shot is a very good shot. He says that the two Mizbechas on a Har HaKarmel. It was the Mizbech of Eliyahu and the Mizbech of the Baal. So, and that was there the whole time. They prepared it. So what happened was the Baal people, they said, you know what, you know the reason why Hashem is not answering that? Because your Mizbech is here. And your Mizbech is interfering. There's interference. So they took his Mizbech and smashed it. So now he prepared that Mizbech that was destroyed. That's the Malachim says. Rashi says that it's more metaphorically that when he went ahead and Rashi has two pshat. One pshat is that when he went ahead and he brought this carbon, it was repairing this bech in the base of Mitzvah that was standing right there that was destroyed because he's kind of including the whole cries, and it's kind of repairing that. Or it's another pshat that shal put him his bech, but let's just go back. Anyway, it's lamed off. Try to finish the Perek. But you got Eliyahu so Eliyahu went and takes 12 stones, kamismar, shifts them in order to resemble the 12 cries. So what is that? So either the pshat is you want to do the schus. His field should be answered except in honor and the all the shvatim, or he's trying to say that all the shvatim should be united with Hashem. Right now there's a split, and it's already Zara. He's trying to symbolize that. Asher Hayab Adva Hashem Elov Lema Yisrael Yesh Me'achad. Okay, that's why it's 12. Now, he built the mizbech ba'avanim b'shem Hashem v'yas Tola, and he did was he made a ditch around the mizbech like in the ground. And he did a kabase, Sasayim Zera, and there was an area that could contain two saw of seed, saw of bech around the bech. Now, just tell you what he did, and you'll understand. What he did was he made his bech, and then he made a ditch around it, and he put the wood, and he put the carbon on it, and he poured tons of water all over it.
What was the point?
Tons of water
to grow what?
No, to that size. The ditch was the size of Sasayim. So Rashi explains it. Good shot, good kasha. Rashi explains it was like the size of the Chatzar Mishkan. The idea was to resemble that it's almost like we're bringing a carbon now. So it's like Ke'ilu and therefore a fire should come down. That's what Rashi learns, Avi Kasha. But anyways,
I would think
why
also,
do you make
if
a
you have
ditch?
that other story where they went underneath to go light it, and now you set everybody far away that nobody can get close and see how genuine it really is.
He's exact opposite.
He's showing them that nobody's playing games.
Right, now they're not playing games. Come close by and when he pour water, tons of water. And the idea was the fires that come is to burn up that, and all the water, it's even burn the water. Until there was nothing up. The pasuk says until it licked the side of the
sure
ditch.
That if anybody's under there, they'll drown. You know.
Oh,
nobody underneath.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I like the shot. They also say another shot that they used why water because the deal was water was so sacred then because they needed water. So for Hashem they're going to go do that. Okay. Exactly. Shows faith. Pasuk. Okay. So we're in pasuk. They put the wood down. He cut up the ox and they put on the wood. Arba Kadamai full of 4 pitchers of water with water, Vayitzku, and they pour all over the on the back, on top of the carbon, on top of the wood. Shnu Yishnu. They said, do it again, keep going. They did 3 times. They just kept pouring tons of water until everything was soaked. So therefore, if a fire comes out and gets rid of the carbon and the whole thing with the water, we know. Okay, undisputed. What happens? The water went all around the mizbech. And even the ditch we said was completely soaked with water. With the time of Milcha, so now the time of Milcha came, and now Eliyahu was making a tefillah, and the tefillah is that Hashem should bring the fire to this mizbech. So the famous Gemara Brach, the Gemara Brach says that everyone should be careful in the tefillah's Mincha because Eliyahu answered what? None other than the tefillah's Mincha. And we see because that's what that you could do a lot of other tefillahs, but that's the tefillah that pushed it through. So let's see. So what happens? He makes the tefillah Hashem Lekei Avram. It's Hashem Lekei Avram Yitzchak Yisrael Hayom Yivada today. Let it be known Ki Ata Elikim Yisrael. You are Hashem and Yavdacha B'Dvaracha Asisa Esakov Vela. You're the one who does all these things. That's the tefillah. And he said, Aneni Hashem Aneni Hashem, please answer me. We do. The people should know Ki Ata Hashem Elikim. You are the Hashem. Ha'ata Hisevaisa Esliban Acharenas. And you're the one who gave. Actually, you're the one who gave them opportunity. You're the one that's really in charge, and you gave the opportunity to turn away. So it's really all you, Hashem. Now, Hashem, and a fire came down from Shemayim. It completely consumed and devoured and burnt all the oila and the eitzim, esavonim, and the stones. Yeah, that's the Ephraim, the earth. Everything got it completely. Everything was burnt.
Like the
yeah, everything. Even the everything was burnt. Hamayim, and even the water in the ditch, it licked it up. I mean, it completely dried it all up, and a big fire came down. The Yarkalaam, everyone saw. They all felt the famous say, Hashem Elikim, Hashem Elikim. They said, Hashem is the right one. But now they all were finally, and this is like a tshuva movement in a way. We'll see. And in this schus is a schus that they, and this is a schus that they got what? That the rain back in a sense. That they was. This is a tshuva. And Eliyahu tells the people to tifshu us and navi Baal. Now that we saw it happen, quickly grab the Nevi'ah Baal. Don't let them run away. Grab them. Ish al Yamalit mehem. No one should escape. Vaydith v'shum Yehuda Eliyahu took them. And El Nach they go and they shechted all the Nevi'ah Baal, all 450, and they threw them at Nach Kishai. So the Nevi'ah Baal were all murdered and killed. Okay. Now
We say it 7 times.
Oh, that's why Yom Kippur we say it because.
Because that's
7 is nitzchis.
No, it has to do with the Shemayim, the 7 Shemayim.
But the Nevi'ah Baal, so Zevel wasn't Jewish. The Nevi'ah Baal, was the Nevi'ah Baal Jewish? I'm not sure.
Why can they do tshuva?
They were? Okay.
They saw an open miracle. Why didn't they have a chance to do tshuva? Why did they kill them right away?
So maybe they didn't say Hashem Elikim. Maybe. It says Chal Yisrael, it's alright?
People want Hamas to do tshuva also.
I'm saying if they're Jewish.
No, it says Chal Ha'am. All the people that are around, I guess it means Yisrael, they say Hashem Elikim. The Nevi'ah Baal are tough people. Okay, let's just finish. Okay, Pasuk Mem Aleph. Interesting. Pasuk Yemer Eliyahu Achav. So now Eliyahu tells Achav, "Hello, go up. Achav is to go drink in the drink. Because Kawai ki call Hamam Gasham because he hear the sound of rain coming. So it's time to celebrate. And he's trying to show that he's the one that's going to cause the rain now. Yeah, and why now is he going to go with the rain? Because now, like I said, now that there's a tshuva, so now that the Zaycha, and the whole idea is to show who's real, who's not. And now there's tshuva, and now it's the time. Okay. Har HaKarmel. He goes up to the top. And he bows to the ground. That's Lashon Tefillah. Okay, that's the Tefillah. He puts him between his knees. What does that mean? So the Rabbah has pshat. It means that he put himself in a very uncomfortable position, and he did that because he said he's not. He basically wants Hashem to answer him. So if you make yourself uncomfortable, Hashem doesn't want you to be that way. So Hashem is going to be rain very fast, and he needed to be
so
come now.
If I want to answer me, I should put my head between my knees. So
if you're on that level, then maybe yeah.
Yeah. If you go to a fish, if you get swallowed by a fish also.
So if you're going to be Eliyahu Navi, then you should go ahead and you could do that. Okay. Plus, I'm going to give up 2 of Sukkim. But Yemer al Nari tells his Nara, Allah quickly, Allah no habei derech yam. Go look to the sea and tell me v'yal habei v'yemer im umma. So he says, go tells him now, go look to see if there's any clouds. He says, came back, says, no clouds. I don't know, honestly, right? But Yemer, keep going back 7 times. And V'yemer Shviyas, and V'yemer Shviyas the 7th time, V'yemer, he says, Hine of Katan, there's a tiny little cloud. The Kaf, Ish, Olam, it's a little cloud rising of rain, water cloud coming from the Yam. Kliyaka says, what's the idea of it? He says it's like of katana, a small little cloud. It's like a hand. He's saying it's almost like salvation, like the Yad Hashem. But Yom Allah, he says Allah v'Amar. Eliyahu says go up. Achav Esave Vared. V'loi Starchem Gashami. He should quickly go up. And he should get his horse and buggy get ready. He shouldn't get stuck in the rain. The rain's to stop him. What does he do? Because it's going to really rain now. But he ad koy in the meantime. Hashemayim. His kardu avim ruach the sky got dark with clouds. He geshem gadol was a tremendous rain. Yicham Achav Yech Yazela. And Achav quickly went to Yazriel. And pasuk mevav Yad Hashem Haisel Yo, and the hand of Hashem was Yo. Sorry, Yad Hashem Haisel Yo, and the spirit of Hashem. The hand. I mean, the spirit of Hashem was with Yo. Yeshanim Mastav Yoretz. What does that mean? So it's explained like this. How it was, Achav came with all the people, but now all the people either died or did tshuva. right? So he came with an entourage and he left by himself. So it's not covered for the Achav to go by himself. So and he was with his chariot. So what the pasuk saying is that Hashem gave a special character to Eliyahu Navi that he went with Achav in order that even though he was in Russia, but it's not covered for him to go himself. And he went ahead of Achav by feet, and he was able to be ahead of him even though Achav was on his chariot. And that's what it means. B'yad Hashem hois Eliyahu. The hand and the spirit of Hashem was with Eliyahu. Yashne must have. It means he girded the Taich's loins and he ran and went to flee Achav until he came to Israel. In other words, he got ahead of him, even though Achav was with his chariot and Eliyahu was going by foot. Still, Eliyahu was able to get ahead of him, and he did it in order for covered Malchus. It's not covered. It's not covered for the Melech. At the end of the day, even though it's a rush, it's still the Melech, and therefore it's not covered by itself. Have a good Shabbos. Tomorrow we'll do Perek test. Yes.